see this too much? Perfect. We are recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first official interview with Team Bunny. We have Karen here, and I am so excited to share this experience with you for the first time. You're such an inspiration, and we've worked together for over a year. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And when I heard that most people want to hear more about people's story rather than just pictures, I knew that you were the first person I wanted to be on here because you have such wisdom, you're inspiring. And right now, being in the front lines, I think that you've got a lot of tips that we can listen to. So I appreciate you spending your time because I know it's so valuable right now.
Thanks, Jill.
And I love your pink dress, by the way. So.
Oh, yes. I got out of my pajamas.
I appreciate that. Amazing. So tell us a little bit about yourself, a backstory, whatever you want to share, and then we'll obviously get into the more nitty-gritty stuff that I know some of us want to hear about.
Yeah, so I am over 50 and still rocking it. And I'm a nurse at Hospital for Sick Children. I have 2 teenage boys and 3 cats. And I just, my life has, over the last couple of years, has had a few road bumps. So my biggest road bump in the last couple of years was when my dad passed away in March of 2018. And my dad was probably my best friend. My mom's my best friend too. But that was really devastating. So that was my first road bump. And but then it was just getting together with everybody I possibly knew and knew who knew him. And they lifted us up through that whole process. And then, the next year, last February, my now ex-husband decided to take another path in life that did not include me.
Very, very well said. That's very kind.
Yeah. I said some swear words along the last year and a bit, but honestly, I must admit I did struggle for the first 3 because I didn't have any answers. It was just a quick year. And then he said to me, after me saying, demanding answers for 3 weeks, he just said, I don't love you. I haven't loved you for years. I felt my heart shatter into like a million pieces. And a second later, I thought, you know what? Okay. Like, I can't force anybody to love me. I can't force anybody to be married to me. And, it's still an ongoing process, both getting the divorce finalized and everything else. But I just, sort of internally got everybody, the entire Team Bunny, all of my friends, just somehow the strength came from inside. And all of a sudden I thought, I don't need to. I'm going to be okay. And now with COVID-19.
You know what? Out of last year when we started working together and when you went through this whole divorce, I think a lot of the bunnies that are watching this now that were part of it saw you soar. That, your health and fitness, you just absolutely blossomed from a devastating time. And it just goes to show you that you can either be crushed or allow it to open up some new doors, which it definitely did for you. So it was amazing to watch you soar.
People that I hadn't been connected to in years, but had those loose connections with, they were like, Karen, we're going out for coffee. This was before now. And I've made reconnections with so many family and friends that, life gets busy and things sort of fall to the wayside. But, and then the entire Team Bunny, like when I was having a bad day, I would get online and I would read people's posts and I would read their inspirational stories, or I'd read your 100 squats now.
Yeah.
And then I'd read everybody's comments. Like some were like, yoo-hoo, and others were like, oh my God, I can't feel my legs. It would just bring such a smile to my face. Yeah. And then I'd be okay again. And that August retreat, I that was such a transformation weekend for me.
It was
And
so nice to share
you
that
know,
with you. I'll,
yeah, that was amazing. So yeah.
it's been such a great road. And now with your health and fitness, because you worked out from home, and you
Yeah.
also did a lot of swimming and stuff like that too, because I think your first original plan was a triathlon the beginning
Yeah. So
here.
I'm a
But what's
triathlete.
happening with that now that everything's going on
Well,
with COVID-19?
all the races are canceled. So
Okay.
I've been a triathlete for, oh my God, I can't even remember how many years. So over 10 years. I grew up as a competitive swimmer. So then after kids and being on the couch and thinking I have got to get my budding gear off the couch, I joined a spin class, which happened to be led by a triathlon coach. But he didn't know I was a competitive swimmer for the first year and a half I was in that spin class.
Wow.
Um, when I said, "Oh, if I was to think about a triathlon, what would you suggest?" And he started talking because, for triathletes, I think the biggest challenge is swimming because most people, they're runners, they're cyclists, but
Hmm.
people grew up as competitive swimmers. And then, and he'd known me for a year and a half at this point. And I said, well, I used to swim competitively. And I didn't get another word out. He just started laughing and his jaw dropped to the floor. And he said, if I knew that you were a competitive swimmer a year and a half ago, you would have been doing triathlons a year and a half. That's my start. And I've done all the distances. I've done the little sprints and tries all the way up to Ironman. Um, and
Wow.
then, fell off the wagon for a little bit through all my road bumps and wanted to get back into it this year. So I've been doing the biking and the running and not so much swimming in the winter because all the pools are closed now.
Yeah.
Um, but my this summer my goal was to just get back into the sprint distance, not to just to do a quick sprint triathlon,
Hmm.
go out and have a blast again, have an amazing time, because that was originally why I started doing triathlons.
Yeah.
And the strength and conditioning that I was doing with you made such a difference in all three disciplines: the
Amazing.
swimming, the biking, the running. I just one of my friends who didn't know I was training with you was in the pool with me, and she was like, oh my God, Karen, you are like twice as fast now. And because we were sort of the same speed in the pool,
I
like
like
when
hearing
you're
that.
fast, like, who's your who's not. And she's like, I can't keep up with you anymore. And I just laughed because I wasn't trying to get away from her in the pool. Like we were just sort of doing our routine.
Can't help it when you're just getting fitter, right?
I just laughed and I'm like, well, I started doing some strength and conditioning training, and she's like, that's it. Cause I hadn't, like, she's like, are you
Amazing.
swimming twice as often now? And I'm like, no, I'm just going to the gym and lifting weights
Yeah.
now.
So
So
what is
then
it looking like
start,
now, I guess, because obviously things are kind of changing with the upcoming events and your job. Are you still able to get your home workouts in? Like how's that going?
yeah. So I get up and I'm like you, I'm a morning workout person.
Yeah.
So I wake up and I actually get my workout in before I get changed and onto the go train to go to work.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not perfect, but if I leave it for the nighttime, there's too many excuses I can come up with on that go train ride home
Yeah.
to avoid the gym. So I have my running shoes and all my workout clothes right beside my bed, so that when
Fantastic.
my alarm goes off, I either put them on or I trip over them. And then I go straight down. Like before my brain can wake up, I go straight downstairs to my basement where I have all my treadmill and my bike and my weights, and
Awesome.
I do a combination of things. So I tend to leave the longer bike rides or treadmill sessions to the weekend when I have a little bit more time.
Hmm.
But I definitely get in your ultimate training plan,
Awesome.
or usually I don't get your 100 challenge until during the
You
daytime.
got to do it in the go train.
So yeah, I'm either thinking, I wonder if I can get away with doing it on the go train or in my office, but no, like if I just know myself, and I've learned
Yeah.
that over a number of years because I used to go after work,
Yeah.
uh, but after a really tiring day and then coming home on the go train, I'd be like, oh, I just can't do the gym tonight, or I can't, So for me, I have to do it in the morning.
Yep.
Now,
And
when
has
I do
that
get it in
changed
the morning,
now has that changed with everything going on working at SickKids, or are you still able to stick to your
no,
schedule?
I
Because obviously
still do
that's
it. Yeah, my
amazing.
alarm is set,
Good.
and I still do it. And I think you told me once that it's a promise to myself.
Yep.
So it's not like I'm not doing it for you. I'm not doing it for my kids. I'm not doing it for anybody else. I'm doing it for me. And
Beautiful.
so when I have those thoughts come in my head about, oh, I'm just too tired,
Hmm.
quickly, I usually hear your voice saying, no, 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 you promise to yourself. You're not doing it
Amazing.
for anybody else except for yourself. So usually that turns that other voice off in terms of, oh, you're too tired, you're too this, you're too that. And I just, okay, I made a promise to myself, get down there.
Amazing.
And
And that's
also,
been able to stay with you right through
yeah,
everything the past few weeks. And food, has
yeah.
anything changed in your day to day at work or food or anything like that where it's kind of been more stressful or?
I mean, there is a lot of stress at work now.
Okay.
So we are so prepared. And I want to tell everybody, we have been preparing since January. Um, like, especially in the GTA, we went through SARS in 2002. So we have been preparing at hospitals in the GTA. We have been preparing for something like this for a long time. And so when it started and you started to hear the news coming out of Wuhan,
Hmm.
uh, we started preparing. So, I see lots of headlines out there about us scrambling and not doing, like, sort of a bit sensational. I actually wrote one down that I saw the other day. Um, Province scrambles to ready beds as COVID-19 waves set to hit. And I read that and I sort of shook my head because I thought, no, like, I know that every hospital has been preparing since January. People have been meeting at every single level, the federal level, provincial level, municipal level, every hospital level has been meeting and preparing for this. So
Hmm.
I want to, yeah, sorry, Jill, my alarm keeps going off.
That's okay.
Um, and we are ready. And, yes, we are very nervous. And I think all of us are hoping
Hmm.
that the things that have been put in place, and the physical distancing and social distancing that people are doing, are going to put a stop to the catastrophic wave. We have
Good.
cases, we do have community transmission, but if everybody's doing their part, then we can stop this in its tracks.
Hmm.
And the other thing, and I guess the other piece of advice I have for people is I limit myself to 1 hour of news every day.
That's
Uh,
great advice. And do
that
you
is
have any resources that you suggest us looking at more than obviously some other
yeah. So
non-credible ones?
the Public Health of Ontario website,
Okay.
the Ontario website. I mean, you can even go to the SickKids website. It has a big COVID-19 section on it.
Oh,
Uh,
fantastic.
so you're all my kids. And so it's updated every day.
Mhm.
Yeah, so all of those resources are great. And like the news I watch tends to be the two ones that I've always sort of watched, which is CBC and CTV.
Mhm.
But the Canadian news, I am finding that they are presenting very factual, very calm information. I am so proud to say that the doctors that are on those news sites giving the information, a lot of them are very powerful women. So women rock.
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
we do.
that was the case in SARS too. Like the face of SARS became the one of the public health officers, and Dr. Greer, and now it's Dr. Tam. And here's these women speaking to Canada and Ontario every day, giving you facts and figures, and it may seem
Amazing.
overwhelming, but really just listening to their messages of, we're doing a good job. I see people social and physically distancing. So I've appreciated seeing that and knowing that, We rock.
Now, is there anything we can do to help support you? Obviously, we are not frontliners. A lot of the bunnies, we're at home. Anything that you think we can do to help you, or for us to stay healthy and safe and,
Oh,
mentally as
so
sane as possible?
yeah, so that's easy. Good hand washing.
Yep.
And I see everybody doing great physical distancing, staying home,
Fantastic.
only going out for the essentials, not
I got
posting
it. You got
or,
your cat.
oh, I have a little cat on me. Um, so, and people are not having like people over to their house, but they're hosting virtual parties.
Great.
So one of my friends, they often have brunch together every Saturday, and they have switched that to a virtual brunch.
Fantastic.
So I would say to all the bunnies, still do everything that you were normally doing. Stick to your
Mhm.
same schedule. Um, Now, Monday through Friday, I don't stay in my pajamas because I actually have to get dressed for work. But on the weekends, I stay in my pajamas. But really, you need to get up. You need to get changed. You need to get your workout in. And
Mhm.
you need to do all of those things that you did with your friends, but just virtually now. A friend of mine posted on Facebook, she and her family have been playing games every single night, and I've been doing the same thing. The boys and I have dug out every board game that has been sitting getting dusty in the closet. um,
Fantastic.
she played that headbands game,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
a virtual game of headbands with her. So she is on a girls hockey women's hockey team, and they were feeling really distant from each other because they're normally used to practicing together and
Yes.
together. So they played a virtual game of headbands with each other, and she posted it, and I again just brought a huge smile to my face.
Oh, amazing.
Yep, and just really good hand washing. No
Mhm.
you're in contact with. Like I know for me and my family and my friends and all my work colleagues, I know who has traveled, I know who hasn't.
Mhm.
They've been in contact with. So really, it's okay to say to people like that or even some strangers, but have you been traveling? Are you well? Like,
Mhm.
do you feel well? Um, and somebody described because they walk outside all the time, as they now do the social distancing 2-step. So when you're walking down a path, you're like taking 2 steps to one direction, they're taking 2 steps to the other direction. So really, I think everybody's doing an amazing job.
Good.
And um, the other, because I think people sometimes mentally, I can't picture the physical distancing. So
Mhm.
it's things. Really, that's what it is. That's what
Yeah.
2 meters is. And then the other person I heard speaking talked about the only person you really have to worry about is yourself and the
Mhm.
people around you. So if you keep yourself and the people around you to zero, and then your neighbors do the exact same thing and they keep themselves and the people around them to zero, then you're going to stay there. You're not going to have any more cases of COVID. The neighborhood's not going to have any more cases
I
of COVID.
love that advice.
The city doesn't have any more cases of COVID. The province does. So it was sort of that ripple effect. So instead of being
Yes.
overwhelmed, because I think
Mhm.
that's the other biggest problem right now, is people just feeling so mentally overwhelmed. But if you're just focusing on you and keeping you safe,
Mhm.
and then everybody else is keeping themselves safe, then everybody together, we're all keeping each other safe.
That's beautiful. I love that advice. Self-care, and we're number one priority, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, Karen, you are so fantastic. I love all your advice. Is there anything else you want to share with the bunnies, or any last words to leave them with some inspiration for the rest of the day?
No, just anybody can call me or text me or
I will
friends.
say you are like the mama. You are incredible. You're
Um,
always there, very supportive, and have the best advice. So honestly, by you
but
saying that,
yeah,
take advantage.
yeah, like we had talked about mental health, and really reach out to those people that
Hmm.
might not be online so much or might be having trouble being isolated. Because I mean, that's I think how we're all feeling. We're so used
Hmm.
to being connected and giving people
Yes.
hugs and meeting
Yeah.
up for coffee. So have a virtual coffee, have a virtual board game, like,
Fantastic.
but reach out and check in on all those people that you
Yes.
know, just a quick hi is awesome.
And you know what?
Yeah.
There's such great advice that even if anybody else is watching this now, we'll make sure to get the link and share it through email and stuff, like you said, for some people that don't have Facebook and can't grab this.
Yeah.
But Karen, I can't thank you enough, and please be safe, and keep the daily messages on our Team Bunny wall to make sure that everything is okay, because our heart's going out to you. And again, a big thank you, and I will share your Instagram and Facebook handles so the rest of the people can reach out to you and ask any questions that they might have.
Yeah, so I don't mind at all. Anybody can call me, message me. Like, I will answer a million questions anytime. I have lots of time on the go to and from, and even at home. And if anybody needs, like, seriously, if anybody needs a voice to talk to, I'm here. And all of those, on a lot of the things I mentioned, like the Ontario.ca, publichealth.ca,
Mhm.
all the mental health resources are there as well. So
Perfect. And I
never
make sure to share it
feel,
on the bottom of this. I'll make
yeah,
sure to put those links as well, for sure.
yeah, because we need to stay mentally well instead
Mhm.
and physically well. So, I mean, Jill, I sent you a picture on Thursday, and I'll give you permission to put that on the blog as well, about how I can't do mindless eating anymore,
Yep.
because I have to wear a mask.
Yes. I'm going to
or
share that 100%.
Definitely. So yeah, my biggest challenge right now this week was keeping hydrated.
Yep.
Because behind that mask, I am getting so dry. Because I
Oh,
can't just sort of be sipping from my water bottle.
well, you know what? I'll just do a sip for you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Karen. We'll stay on here for a few minutes, but again,
Yeah.
thanks everybody for listening. Share this, like it, and we'll make sure to keep this virtual and all these positivity going. So thank you so much again.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.